Why is Jordan only Arab? Why is Syria only Arab? Why is there Lebanon only Arab? Why is Israel so different?
I'll tell you. During the seventh,
Why can't they just be Arab, right?
so during
It's
the
like saying that putting Israel in Africa, for an example.
so a lot of these places were not originally Arab or Muslim. For example, the Phoenicians in Lebanon were conquered
Right.
by the Muslim conquest during the 7th century. Okay, so they pretty much conquered the entire Levant area, some parts of North Africa, some parts of the Middle East. A lot of these areas were colonized by Muslims. You understand?
Okay, now I see where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. I'm glad to see you're understanding me.
Officials are hard TV. Officials are hard TV. Let's go. Protect the Jews, fight the lies, can't you see? Debunk the hate, bring the peace, we're the key.
If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, comment, and of course hit the notification button so you can get notified every time I post new content. Thank you to all my Patreons who support me financially. If you'd like to be a Patreon as well, the link is down below. I appreciate all of your support. Let's get to the video.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I think I know you.
I'm from TikTok. I do TikToks, Instagrams.
Yeah. How you been?
You know, the usual. What do you think about my content, if you know me?
I watch it sometimes. I don't pay that much attention. I just keep scrolling, but I do watch like some of your videos like here and there.
Have you
About Israel and Palestine.
have you found any flaws in my content? Anything I lied about? Anything I said that's incorrect?
Yeah and no. Some yes, and some no.
Do
But I
you,
feel
do you
like
remember something in particular so I can
like about Palestine and Israel, like where how they're saying that it's all about the Jews, but it's actually not about the Jews. It's about the land.
So can I ask you a follow-up question to that?
Sorry.
Can I ask you a follow-up question to that to prove to you that it has nothing to do with the land?
Sure.
If all of the Jews in the region of Israel would convert to Islam, would we have a single terror attack in Israel? From the West Bank, from Gaza?
No and yes. It depends like what terrorist it is, like ISIS.
So would we have a single attack from Hamas or from Hezbollah?
Yeah, but there's a reason why they're attacking, right?
I mean, we can all hear the reason when they invaded the country. They said, "Itbach el Yahud," and Allah will repent them for their sins.
Yeah, the reason, yeah, because it was their land, like it was the land of Palestine, and obviously that's why there was war. That's why it's starting to be a war between Hamas and Israel.
But it
Because
wasn't.
the Palestinian people are saying this is my land,
It
and
wasn't.
the Israelis are saying no. This is,
But are you Muslim or Christian? What are you?
I'm a Muslim.
Muslim. Where was Jesus born?
Jerusalem.
Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Point is, Jesus was born a Jew. He was raised as a Jew. He died as a Jew with a Jewish mother, Jewish colleagues, and Jewish disciples.
No, Jesus was a Palestinian.
Jesus was a Jew.
He wasn't a Jew.
Okay, so
wasn't a Jew.
A Palestinian is a nationality. Jewish is an ethnicity. Jews originate from.
Okay, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so I'm a Jew. I'm an Israeli Jew. Israeli is my nationality. Jewish is my ethnicity, because Jews originate from Judea, and Arabs originate from
Right.
Arabia, and Native Americans originate from America, and Aboriginals originate from Australia, and Amazigh originate from Morocco. It's the same thing. So if I stop believing in God or about the Bible, about the Torah, I'm still a Jew, because my ethnicity is from here. I'm from this land. I'm from Judea. This is the former name of the land. Now I'm asking you, if Al-Aqsa Mosque is built on top of our Wailing Wall, on top of the ruins of Bayt al-Maqdis, of the Jewish people, how can you tell me that it's the land of the Muslims, of the Arabs, if the Jews were here before?
No, you're right. There were the Jews, but they were Arab Jews.
Doesn't make sense.
And
So
then
Arab is an ethnicity.
There was Arab Jews back then.
So Arab is an ethnicity. Arabs originate from Arabia. My grandparents grew up in Tunisia. So they're Tunisian Jews. Tunisian as nationality, ethnicity is Jewish. Same thing with the
Right.
Jews that lived here. There were Palestinian Jews, Palestinian Muslims, and Palestinian Christians. So all of us
Right.
lived here together, right? Why all of a sudden only the Palestinians are Only the Muslims are Palestinians. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, no, I can see that. No, I mean, no, I see where you're coming from.
So
You know, I see where you're coming from.
that is my problem. My problem is that the Palestinian identity was only created to push Zionists out, to push Jewish people out of the land, and make this place only for Palestinians. But to me, Palestinians are all the people that were here before 1948, which were Jews, Christians, and Muslims. If you don't acknowledge that, you're ignoring history, and that's a problem because you can't ignore history.
I know, but it was called Palestine before 1948.
There were no distinct borders of Palestine because Palestine also consisted what is today known as Jordan. You understand? And
Right.
this
Yes,
part,
I do. I've heard of people saying that Palestinians belong to the Jordanians.
if you go to Jordan right now, you'll see 75% of Jordan
Okay, so I have a question. Why is Jordan only Arab? Why is Syria only Arab? Why is there Lebanon only Arab? Why is Israel so different?
I'll tell you. During the seventh,
Why can't they just be Arab, right?
so during
It's
the
like saying that putting Israel in Africa, for an example.
So a lot of these places were not originally Arab or Muslim. For example, the Phoenicians in Lebanon were conquered by the Muslim conquest during the 7th century. Okay, so they pretty much conquered the entire Levant area, some parts of North Africa, some parts of the Middle East. A lot of these areas were colonized by Muslims. When they got into the land, they colonized it and Islamized and Arabized the place. So Lebanon used to be a Christian place. Now it's mostly a Muslim place. Israel used to be a Jewish place. Now it's half Muslim, half Jewish. Same thing applies to Morocco. It used to be owned by the Amazighs. Now it's owned by mostly Muslims. Same applies to different parts of the Middle East and North Africa. So the reason why we have this war, why we have this conflict, and why only Israel is getting attacked from Syria, from Lebanon, from Jordan, from Egypt, is because this is the only place that is not Muslim. This is the only obstacle to create an Islamic caliphate. Because as soon as you destroy Israel, this region is fully Muslim. Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, Sudan, Saudi Arabia, all of these places are Muslim. And this is the only place that's making an obstacle for an Islamic caliphate to rise. You understand? And that's exactly why I'm here. I'm here to show you the Jews were here. They were always here. I'm not saying that Arabs didn't live here, and I'm not saying that the Arabs should leave. But as long as they don't accept my existence on the land, that is where the problem starts. As a Jew, of course.
Right.
You understand?
Okay, now I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm glad to see you're understanding me. Good
I'm
for
with
me.
you on that one. Yeah, I gotta say with because I don't know that much, but you proved to me that it's true, right?
Amazing. Also, if you ever want to take a biblical perspective on the conflict, always ask yourself: the Muslims are the son of Ishmael, right?
Yes. Ishmael?
Ishmael, yes.
I haven't heard.
Ishmael is the son of Abraham.
Yes.
So Abraham had a wife called Sarah, and they brought Isaac, and he had another female that he was with. Her name was Agar, and Agar and Abraham brought Ishmael. God sent Ishmael to the desert, and he told him, "You will build your nation elsewhere, a great nation elsewhere, not in the Holy Land." And he told Isaac, "You will grow your nation in the Holy Land." So if according to a biblical perspective, which the Muslims accept, the Jews accept, and the Christians accept, you can tell that this is Jewish land, just like all the other regions in the world belong to specific people who came from there.
Right.
So that's everything. But you're a nice guy. You're smart because you're willing to learn, and I appreciate it.
Yes, I had to investigate just a little bit, like to see what exactly is going on, right? To match up the line there.
Amazing. It's good to talk to you, brother.
It was good to talk to you too.
Bye.
Official Sahar TV, bringing fire to the beat. Official Sahar TV, Official Sahar TV, let's go.